YouTube, man, what's going on? It's LNH back with another vid, man, and we got some very interesting news to talk about. Man, today a recent video had just dropped about Zaire actually going up against pros, and this dude is looking super impressive in my opinion. And on the other hand, people are thinking that a lot of these high school hoopers going to the overtime league are actually ruining their future. So let's break it down, get right into it. But man, if you like these type of vids, like the video, sub to the channel, turn on those post notifications, get a notification every time I upload a new video. But let's get right into it. Now, if you guys have not seen this recent video going around, man, Zaire is on the ball. Zaire, of course, has been a name that's come up for a minute now. We know he was back at Sierra Canyon, initially played back in Florida at one point and was doing his thing, got injured, of course, while he was at Sierra Canyon. Numbers were not looking the best. Went to prep school, which was Brewster Academy, did pretty well, but of course, with the visibility going on, we really weren't able to see how well he performed at the school, and the school only played a limited number of games. And now he's really in this intermediate period where we don't know what is going on with his game, what his plans are in the future. But I've speculated, like you guys know in the past, I stated this dude is most likely going overseas. Many of you know he even has his own clothing brand, and a lot of people were speculating that the fact that back then he had his own clothing brand when the NIL rules to go to college were not in effect yet, this dude was not allowed to make money off of his name. And in that case, since he had his brand, most likely he really had no interest of going to college anyway. And of course, we never even heard him express any interest in a couple schools that did offer him. Nebraska was on the list. There were a few schools, Rhode Island, a few schools that offered this dude. We hadn't heard anything about his recruitment, and he for sure keeps things on the DL. Now, this recent video was actually posted of him playing against some pros, and I gotta say, Zaire is looking like a completely different player here. Now, in this video, we have Ben Simmons. This guy's giving Ben Simmons buckets. A ton of people were commenting that. You have Jordan Clarkson, BJ Boston is in there. A ton of these guys who can really hoop. Even Jalen Johnson, the rookie. And Zaire looks to be holding his own. He even scored on Ben Simmons and looks pretty confident out here. So in my opinion, man, if we see him playing these open runs, and of course, this is not the end-all be-all, but in my opinion, if he's playing this well, maybe he will actually decide, instead of just going straight to overseas, maybe playing for the NBL, to instead maybe going to something like the NBA G League. Now, the reason I state the NBL is because, of course, there was actually a video that was posted on Instagram where he was visiting one of the NBL facilities, and he actually commented under it and put some eyes, which was basically stating, in my opinion, and solidifying that he's at least interested in going to the NBL, which kind of would make sense why we haven't heard him show any interest in any of the colleges that he did have offers from. But in my opinion, I think this dude is looking pretty confident on the court. I've never seen him play like this, to be honest. You know, you see sometimes with Zaire, of course, we didn't really see it too often and haven't got that much visibility of this dude hooping on the court. But the way he was playing here, man, he looks good enough to be playing at the top levels. But for sure, he gets all the hate, in my opinion, because of one, of course, everyone's going to compare him to his father. They look at D-Wade and then look at Zaire and try to see how he's going to match up. But Zaire, of course, is his own man, and he's looking to make a name for himself, and I clearly see that's what's happening here. Now, do I think this dude is ready for the pros? In my opinion, if he's playing this well against NBA players, he probably is. And this dude, you guys know, since he's been out of school for a minute, he's just been training on his game for a while. And the more you work with players, of course, he's been working with BJ Boston, getting in the gym, and they were former teammates at Sierra Canyon. The more you grind and keep getting work in, that's just the better you're going to get in the future. And that's why I think Zaire for sure is going to be a solid player. But you guys let me know in the comments down below, what do you think about these runs, how he was performing? I think he's looking pretty good on the basketball court, but some people may think this is just overrated and he's just not that good of a player overall. And of course, with his high school career, some people really think because his numbers really weren't the best, only when he was playing at weaker competition his numbers looked better. And of course, when he went to Sierra Canyon, his numbers weren't the best. So you guys let me know what you think about the vid. Let me know what you think about this dude and where he's actually going to go in the future as well. Do you agree with me that he's actually going to overseas? Let me know. But on the other hand, man, we gotta talk about this. Now, this partially incorporates Bronny James because actually one of his teammates just signed a deal for the overtime league, and his name is Devontae Cobbs. Now, if you guys didn't see, this dude actually signed a deal with the overtime league, but it's crazy because a lot of people are stating that going to sign with a place like overtime, you're ruining your future. And the reason why people say this is because they almost think that you're selling out your type of game just for money. And of course, with all the extra routes that these players can go, what is the best move? Now, in my opinion, I think on one hand, if Overtime will have enough talent, and they've definitely signed a number of hoopers that can play the game, if they have enough talent, I really don't think it's the worst thing in the world to go and play there. Because of course, if your family really needs it, and if you do need the money, you can go play, get paid to play, and even get some type of money to go to a college to get your education if you don't play overseas. They actually offer around 100K. So in my opinion, I think that's a pretty solid deal, and I really don't think he's ruining his career going to this, because some players, that's probably the best route that they're going to take if they're not going to be able to really perform or play that well in college. Now, I'm not saying he's not going to play that well, because for sure he has offers and is pretty highly ranked amongst his peers, but it's definitely interesting to see the different routes that people go to. And people are wondering, in addition to this, where is Bronny gonna go? Now, you guys know the Blue Bloods have pretty much been recruiting Bronny for a minute now. You guys know Kansas, North Carolina, Duke, Kentucky, all these schools really want Bronny James. But it's really interesting because, of course, Duke's coach, Coach K, is actually going to be leaving. So it's going to be a brand new coach, which means technically that offer may or may not still be there. Now, will Bronny James follow his teammate and maybe sign with an Overtime league, or will he just go straight to the NBA or college? Now, I think if Bronny is good enough by the time he's a senior, he may consider going straight to the league. But again, that's only for a very small number of players can really make that transition. The Zion Williamsons, the very few number of hoopers who really can make that transition and go right to the NBA is very small. So if Bronny is good enough by the time he's a senior, man, I think he will consider it. But I just see LeBron being so focused on education that Bronny most likely will just end up going to college, maybe even getting his degree at this point. You never know. But really, Bron just seems so focused on college, and the fact that he never went, I see him wanting his children to actually go to college. And that's why I definitely think Bronny is going to go to college. But man, people were even stating back then Bronny had interest in an HBCU, and Mikey Williams actually had interest in another one of those schools very closely, which, man, maybe they could team up at the college level. But honestly, Bronny really has not talked about where he wants to go in the future at all. We pretty much have not heard anything, and people always speculate where this dude is trying to go. But honestly, I would say he's going to a regular college, most likely a Blue Bloods college. I don't really see him going to HBCU, because I don't think as of right now, his talent and the way his game plays, he just wouldn't be able to shine that well at one of those schools. Whereas if he's a bigger school where there's a lot more eyes on him, I just think that's the place where he would be able to perform the best. But you guys let me know in the comments down below, what do you think is the best route for Bronny, man? I think it's college, in my opinion. I don't know if he's really prepared or ready to make that huge step to go to the NBA, because that's a lot. And you guys know, if you jump too early and go to the league, you may be out of a spot for good. But who knows, he probably wants to play with Bron as well one year. That would be crazy to see. But you guys let me know in the comments down below, what do you think about this Overtime league as well as Zaire Wade's game? He's definitely doing something right in the gym. So let me know in the comments down below. Make sure you leave a video suggestion down below. I appreciate each and every one of you. I'm always taking a look at them, man. And like the vid, sub to the channel, turn on those post notifications, get a notification every time I upload a new video, and make sure you leave that comment down below. Appreciate each and every one of you. Selling each of them out.